What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. Yesterday we had another amazing day. Yesterday was another amazing day, a 6-2 day that brings the total to 15-2 in the last 2 days. I'm gonna hook you guys up with one basketball play. I'm also gonna give you a play in the NFL for this weekend, and then I'm gonna tell you why I'm skipping tonight's game. But I'm also gonna give you the lean on if I was forced to take it, which side I would take for the Bills and the Texans game. If you like these breakdowns, please make sure you subscribe. So one of the plays that I was talking about heavily yesterday was the Heat. They ended up winning pretty easily here. They won by 14. I took them on the money line. I didn't trust them to cover the spread. Either way, they won pretty easily. This was a points, rebounds, and assist. I actually shared this after we hit 50 likes yesterday. So I'm gonna explain that again. I put it out there yesterday. I don't know if you got the alert or not, but if you want to get these alerts, make sure you click on free picks in the description. I also said that I was going to stay away from the Bulls, or I was questionable on the Bulls. I ended up taking them anyway. They ended up coming back and winning by 1 point. Then I also took the Heat and the Knicks. I explained the Knicks game, and they ended up winning by 2 points. That was a tough call at the end there, but then they ended up winning. So sometimes we'll take the luck. And I also took the Knicks, just like I said I was going to take them yesterday. So again, guys, 6-2 day. I'm going to give you guys one play in the NBA for tonight. I'm also going to give you guys a play for the NFL for this weekend. And then I'm going to explain why I'm staying away from today's game from the Texans and the Bills. But I'll tell you exactly how I would lean if I was forced to take him, which I'm not. I'm not forced to take anything, and I'm not going to do it. But I'll explain the breakdown. All right, so first I'm going to give you some information. Then I'll give you the plays. All right, so right here, these are the anytime touchdowns. These are just hot streaks. This is not teams that we're taking or players that we're taking. These are just hot streaks. We share anytime touchdowns, points, rebounds, and assists, and shots on goal. So if you guys don't want to miss out on those, make sure you subscribe and click on notification, because when we post these actually as posts inside of YouTube, then you'll get the alert so you can get these hot streaks. Anyways, this week is Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Henderson, Atene, and Kittle. So you can see right there their hot streak of what they've been doing in the last few games. Again, these are not our final plays. These are just hot streaks. All right, so one of the things that is going to make me stay away from the Bills game is that they're not as good as they are at home as when they're on the road. So today they're on the road. That's number one. Number two, they do have a great offense right here. They're second best offense in the league, but they're going against the second best defense in the league. So if you put the fact that they're not good at home, they got slaughtered by Miami Dolphins and other teams when they're on the road. Plus, they're going against the second best defense. I don't think that they're going to even cover the spread. The line did go from a -3.5 to a -6. Again, I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm staying away from this. There's a lot of contradictions, but just remember they're going against the second best defense today. So like I said, the line did go from 3.5, and now it's at a -6. 78% of the bets, 86% of the money is coming in on the Bills. And Houston, Texas, they're 50-50 when they're covering spreads. So right now, like I mentioned, the line did go from a +3.5 to a +6. They're giving more points to the Texans, which is not a good sign if you were going to look at the Texans side. But again, the Bills are not that good on the road, and they're going against a very good defense. So if I was forced to take something, I would have to either pick the Bills, but I would go before the key number of 3, which would be a -2.5, or I would take the Texans at a +7.5 if I was forced to take something, which I'm not. I'm not going to take any of these. There's too many contradictions in the game. I'm staying away from this game. I'm going to hook you guys up now with some more information on the NFL. I'm also going to give you my pick in the NFL for this week. And then I'm also going to give you a play in basketball that's very strong. One of the other things that we do as well is the fading the horrible dogs. So like on Tuesday or Wednesday, then we put these out there. So you'll get these alerts on like the shitty teams going against very good teams. So in this week's example, you got the Lions going against the Giants. You can see the Giants are 14.3% as underdogs. So in this case, in this scenario, you would be looking at the Lions. Next one right here is going to be the Seahawks going against the Titans. You can see the Titans are 1-11, 8.3% as underdogs. So in this case, you would be looking at the Seahawks because they're going against a very shitty team in the Titans. Next one will be the Patriots, which is actually one of my plays for today. I'm going to explain exactly how I'm playing it. but we're looking at the Patriots going against the Bengals. The Bengals have been struggling a lot this year. They're 11% as an underdog. So one thing I mentioned yesterday is that if we hit 50 likes, that I would share my props, which we ended up hitting about 48 likes. So I came back last night and I put out a very short video. It was like a few minutes or maybe 1 minute. And I noticed that a lot of people did not actually see that video. So again, I should have just put it onto the free picks. That's what I'm going to do from now on. If you go to the link in the description, click on free picks, then I'll share whenever a video hits 50 likes like I'm doing today, then I'm going to share my plays for the props that I have. So for example, today, like I said yesterday, we did hit around 50 likes. I ended up sharing it in a video, but a lot of people didn't see it. So instead, what I'm going to do is if we hit 50 likes, it's going to unlock the props that I have for today and for tomorrow. I'm going to share the props that I have for today for the reason being that they did not show up to a lot of people yesterday. So I really appreciate you guys that got me over to 50 likes. I would really appreciate if we can do the same for this video. If we do that, what I'll start doing is I'll start sharing the props the next day over. So like I said, I'm not going to come back and try to make a quick video or share it on the free. That's too much work for me. So what I'll do instead is I'll share the props on the next video. So for example, for today's video, because we did get to 50 likes, I have Paul George over 14. So for today's props, I have Paul George over 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The next one right here is Franz Wagner over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Next one is Malik Monk over 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Next one is Jalen Suggs over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So again, guys, if we want the props for tomorrow, these are going to be when we get 50 likes or 50 comments, one or the other. I'll unlock the props that I have for VIP. I'll throw them in for free on tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you take advantage of the free picks. Click on where it says free picks. That's where I'm going to throw out the free props. Also, if you want to check us out, give us a chance. 1 week pass. Go to the link in the description. Click on VIP, and then click on 1 week pass. That'll get you all of tonight's game, which is Thursday nights, all of this weekend's football games, and then all the way through next Thursday's football. So for this weekend's NFL pick, I'm going to throw in there Lions -2.5. And then I'm doing a money line on the Patriots. It's going to be a 2-leg parlay. Again, it's a Lions -2.5 and the Patriots money line. So for today's game on the basketball, I'm going to hook you guys up. I'm looking at the Bucks game versus the 76ers. You can see I'm going to give you a little bit of stats and why I'm going with this play. Giannis right here, he's out, and he actually scores around 32 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. However, he's out today. Also, they dominate a lot. Whenever Giannis is playing, they dominate the hell out of the 76ers. 7-0 head-to-head in the last 7 games. But without him, this trend is actually meaningless. So the 76ers, just like I explained the Bills, when the 76ers play on the road, they just suck. So you can see right here, they got a 46 hit rate for scoring. And then the Bucks, when they have Giannis, they hit a 49. But again, they're missing Giannis today. So their shooting efficiency for both teams is very low. Now, another thing with the injuries, you got Embiid, which is questionable. But however, you should know that whenever this dude is playing, he's usually as questionable, just like LeBron James, just like Giannis. However, Giannis is out. He's confirmed ruled out. So this would affect the scoring big time for the 76ers. So another thing that's going to affect the scoring is that Paul George is actually probable. So I did show him as a PRA prop earlier today, but he's actually shown as probable. That's why that line is so low. Also, the injury report originally said out, but now it's, like I said, it's probable. Anyways, that's going to affect the scoring. So overall, in the last 3 games, the 76ers have scored 109 points. The Bucks are averaging 116. Again, that includes when they've been healthy, but they're not healthy today. And they've been struggling over here for only barely scoring 109 points per game for the 76ers. Now, this is where it all ties in and where my play is going to come in. The line started at a 229. Right here you can see, and it actually went down to a 224. So that is a big drop from 229 to 224. Also, you can see a lot of the money's 87% of the bets, 84% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is dropping 5 points. Here's the injury report. As you can see, Giannis is out, Porter is out, Prince is out, Paul George is probable, Embiid is questionable. There is a crap load of injuries in this game, and that's going to affect the scoring, and that's the reason the line dropped. Even though that much money is coming in on the over, the line dropped 5 points, which is very, very dramatic. So here's the play, guys. I bought an alternate line. That's why I paid the juice to get back to the original line of 229. So I hope that all made sense, guys. Again, I'm going to give you guys the plays. It was the under 229 on the Bucks game for tonight. I'm taking the Patriots money line and the Lions minus 2.5 on a 2-leg parlay for this weekend. I'm skipping today's Thursday night football, but if I see it live, I see great value. I'm actually going to take the Bills. So hopefully what happens is that the Texans start scoring, maybe 7 points, maybe 14 points, and I get great value on the line on the Bills, and then I'll take the Bills money line when it's live if I get great value. Otherwise, I'm staying away from this game. Make sure you subscribe, guys. I give a lot of free value. If we hit 50 likes, I'm going to share my props for tomorrow as well. Thank you so much. Let's have another great day.